Hi Luca,
Jake, you're right.
how you doing, mate?
All good, man.
Gonna start in a minute, but quite interesting, huh? The FOMC yesterday.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that a little bit. We'll also go through anyway. So we'll kick off in a minute.
Yeah, I think so. You're gonna see the opposite today.
Maybe today. Yeah, let's see what the indice anyway. I was gonna plan to go long yesterday on indice, but apart from a breakout, we couldn't really take it. So it's fine anyways. Went to watch football instead. So
Yeah.
no, I just wait, just watch the live Man City, isn't it? Huh?
It's unbelievable.
Real Madrid, I'm a bit gutted. I like to see Man City win the Champions League once, but I think the last 10 minutes they're a bit too happy. So
Yeah.
all right, I'm gonna start anyway because I think today will be a very interesting day. So all our view is just for educational purpose only. If you want to take any trade, this is not a trading tip. You are at your own risk, at your own reward. Okay. So yesterday, wow, look at this. I'm gonna open this up. So let me get the pen. Yesterday, during the news event on FOMC, they raised 50 basis point, and then it dropped. A lot of people probably will be quite concerned. That's a positive news for US dollar. Why the sudden drop? Look, I think it's already priced in, and also they were talking about, I said that on Monday, I said if they're going to raise interest rate to 75 basis point, then could be a concern. And Jay Powell already said even maybe next time when they have the FOMC meeting, they're only going to raise probably 50 basis point, not going to be 75. So, and if we're going to see anything less than 50 next time, could be quite positive for the stock market, but obviously we will have to wait and see. He also indicated about the inflation. It's not. He didn't say anything slowing down, but he said there's some indication it's peaking. So let's see, because inflation is something a lot of concern, obviously, to the market or our real life. I want to, obviously see that change soon anyway. So we shall see what's going to happen with that. But with the dollar, I think is we could be premature. I mean, one day pull back and then now another day bullish. But if you go to 4 hour, it could be just forming up a lower high on 4 hour. We could see it drop lower. I will explain why a bit later. But obviously, we need to collate a few more market first. So here could be a lower high, could be going back down here. We could see that. We'll come back to monthly pivot will be a bit better, but we shall see. Price action still look bullish. We know selling and then buyers coming back. So let's see how this play out. I'll need a little bit more confirmation, mainly certain things that show that it may be. On the flip side, on euro, yeah, we're seeing a reversal bar, but euro has a tendency to give you something like this, could drop a couple of days and then come back and then go again. So we shall see. I like to see it go back to the 20 EMA. Actually, I think that is the monthly pivot as well. So pull back a little bit more. Let's see. Yeah, spot on the monthly pivot and 20 EMA would be. I like that pullback a bit more, but we shall see what happened anyway on that. Earlier, we had the Bank of England. I think they raised 25 basis point on British pound. I didn't follow the news. I think we're now back at 1% in that. So now a big selling in here. However, pound is the one that the most tricky. Oil price, got alert. We'll go to that a bit later. You know, pound likes to do these sort of things anyway, a lot. So, you know, is this going to break this now, or are we going to see come back and then fight back? I don't know. I'm keeping an eye, quite a close eye on this and see on that. Going to Aussie. Aussie's on my list. I mean, I like to trade Aussie and Kiwi because they're not inside the dollar basket, so maybe a bit better. We already see yesterday big buying. Now today's already reversing on that, and then it's back to monthly pivot as well. Yeah, it's bang on monthly pivot, 20 EMA, so continuation divergence. So that's, to me, I like that. I actually like that quite a lot. So let's keep an eye on that. But well, now already is, I think we had a very good entry, arguable good entry. 15-minute, you can see more. Could have taken a breakout on this triple top or head and shoulder, whatever you want to call it. Arguable, had a little retest on that area earlier. So let's see if we can come back up a bit. I'm waiting for the indices to open, see anyone try to buy and fail, because ultimately yesterday the bullish momentum was kicking in sort of end of the day. So during the Fed meeting around 7-8 o'clock, we'll see any momentum comes in and fail on indice. If I see failure on the indice, I could take a retest around this area. But certain things need to happen first. I need to see rejection on that. Is it on your list to sell, Aussie?
Aussie and Kiwi, yeah.
Yeah, Aussie and Kiwi. Kiwi as well is on my list to sell. Is back to this the trend line area. So now rejecting on that. So big reversal again. Let's see 1 hour if I can see any rejection. Come back for a retest around this area, 6,533 maybe. Then I may consider to short Aussie and Kiwi. Yen, I see a little bit of a movement this morning. So, you know, are we going to have a retest on this daily pivot? Maybe a little bit lower. I've got a bit lower on that, maybe considerable, but Yen is not as attractive as Aussie and Kiwi because the trend's been going on quite long, and I just feel more comfortable to take, you know, although yeah, we should follow the trend until it bends, but we need to know that this has been going on for like, you know, 2 months already. So the reward to risk needs to be a little bit smaller, even though if I'm going to take this trade 1-to-1, 2-to-1, bang, in and out on that. So I'm keeping an eye on the Forex, but all depending on this. So I'm going to just show 3 of the chart anyways. Oh, how come? Let me just get out of this first. So the first area that this one is a resistance like that. I mean, S&P 500, I think is back at monthly pivot area, the 4,200. Yeah, it's around the monthly pivot area. I want to see some sort of rejection around here again on the 15-minute. Let's see if people step in. Depending on the open, if I see a lot of people suddenly jump in a big 15-minute bullish bar, maybe half an hour or something, like half an hour buying and then fell through, I could look to sell Aussie or Kiwi, but consider to have the same retest level on that. So there's something I'm keeping my eyes on it. I mean, yesterday, arguably, you could have taken the breakout, but I was expecting something like more of a spike from the dollar news back down and then come back up here, then I'll be more comfortable to do that. But it did, but not as strong. Initial push down a little bit and then straight away book the level and then come in. So arguable, we can easily. It's a comfortable 1-to-1 if you wanted to trade the news, but we're not really a news trader, are we? So I wasn't really eager, so just went to watch the football. So keep an eye on that. S&P, if I see rejection here, NASDAQ rejection, and also on Dow Jones as well, because after the buying last night, it's failing. It's ultimately failing. So it is a fake move yesterday from the news. Are we going to continue to see the bearish move? We'll see. When the opens in 20 minutes, it's important to see what sort of reaction that we get on that. Okay, I'm gonna one of the indices I want to sell. Said a few times already. It's already broken as well, so maybe it's on the list. But let's see what brings anyway. If I'm gonna take a retest on Aussie, I might take a breakout on Hang Seng, because Hang Seng is bearish anyway, so now everything back in line on the downtrend. So now see what happened in this. I likely will congest it here back to 18,000 in here, a breakout, but it will be a second trade anyway. Most likely I will take the retest on Aussie, on Kiwi, and then if that move to the direction I can protect my entry, then that will be a trade that I'll be looking to take a breakout on the 1, 2, 3 1 hour on Hang Seng on that. So commodity, we have another move that I think we're going to see, indice going to drop is oil. We know we've been seeing inverse correlation on oil. Oil's broke out this congested area now, so we may see a pop higher, maybe 120, something like that. The monthly R2, and it's not the easiest catch on this, so I'm not very eager to catch it. I do have a level. If it come back nicely around 107 here tomorrow, maybe I will entertain on a 4-hour trend, maybe, but I'll use it as a reference. But this is looking quite clean to break, so another bearish note for indice. Moving on to gold. Earlier it was a potential 1, 2, 3 pattern potential.
Yeah.
And then it broke higher. Now, I mean, it's not out yet. It could be a 1 hour head and shoulder, but rather this level doesn't break, but it's okay. We could go back to this 1920, which is the monthly pivot, and a double top on the daily. So go back to there, and then we're more than happy to sell around 1920 that area. Coincide with all the EMAs, and this oscillator will catch up on that. I like that. I mean, that's why I'm a little bit cautious on dollar, because gold is still gaining. Is dollar going to drop a little bit more? So a little bit cautious. And also, one day pullback on FX is it's not quite enough anyways, from our experience, we know. So need to be a little bit cautious. So sometimes I know a lot of people say, oh yeah, Malcolm's in, sorry. I mean, he's just joined. Sorry, Malcolm, I don't know how long you waited. We are now in gold, looking at gold, but I'll go back to indice a little bit just to tell him what's the plan. See this free chart on the indice. All of this, let me just get a pen quickly. All of this movement was done by yesterday, the Fed meeting. Okay, after the Fed meeting, we are seeing no follow through for sure anyway. All right. So all of this, NASDAQ, S&P, Dow Jones, all of this was done during the Fed meeting, all because of no surprise, raising 50 basis points And then J Powell's already kind of confirmed that they're not going to raise 75 basis points in the next meeting. It will be around 50. If it's under, probably will be more beneficial for the stock market. We shall see. So something that I'm keeping my eyes, if I can see rejection, because usually big buying will lead to last night, end of the day. Maybe when it's open, some people may want to jump into the market. So I'm keeping my eyes on that and see if we have a fail. So 2 bullish bar. I don't want to see more than 3 15 minutes bullish bar on the indices. If I see a rejection around this area, then I may look to sell Kiwi and Aussie. All right, because as you know, I'm not a big indices seller. I will look for something to sell, but something that keeping my eye very close eye on the indices. And one thing that we just touched base is another negative sign of indices is oil. You can see oil broken out this trend line, continue to inch higher. We are seeing inverse correlation in the last 2 months or 3 months since the Ukrainian war, that we are seeing oil gain, indices drop. So now we're seeing a bit, trying to break out a bit higher. So maybe we are seeing more weakness on that. Gold, we touch base. We may see it come a bit higher, which is better anyway, to 1920, and then look for rejection to short. Obviously, first level would be probably around the 1840 area. And I'll keep some because from May to sort of July, it is quite bearish. So I might aim for ultimate of 1700. So the 1700 or below here, 1670, depending on the confirmation from commitment of traders and other bond market correlation, I could be my first stock investment into gold, and I'll probably go quite heavy. I'll explain a bit more near of the time anyway. But one main reason is I don't see other investment until after the summer. If this one is early summer, I might go in first and capitalize a bit and then redistribute on to other investment on that. Crypto, we don't talk too much on that, but it's very interesting on crypto. It hasn't dropped as much as the indices for the last sort of month and a bit, but it's not bullish. Definitely it's not bullish anyway. We're having a battle, but if I can see Bitcoin drop below the 37,000, 30K, 30K, that would be the mark that we will aim for. So good reward to risk to keep on that. I'm looking to short it, but maybe end of the year would be turn into investor. Just seen the news today as well. Gucci, Italian designer, is now in New York and some places in America. They're accepting cryptocurrency as payment now, including Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. It's just certainly I think there is definitely a demand in the market and a future for cryptocurrency. I don't see it will be disappear. And I was doing the investment planning on the weekend and on Monday as well. The percentage return from cryptocurrency is still better than stock investment. So say if I bought in Alibaba and Alibaba go back to the peak, you're looking at, I don't know, 400-500% return. But if you bought Shiba Inu and Shiba Inu go back to the peak at 2021 and you get at the bottom using our same system, 1000%, my friend. So we're just using, kind of apple to apple, go back to the peak on the previous peak on different instrument.
Crypto can do even in short term as well. Even instead to
you can get 200-300% in days, but you can't really see Alibaba or Apple gave you 200-300% in there. Obviously, is higher risk because it's less less fundamental behind that. But it's I love trading that. Not gonna get it wrong. It's just it's very textbook based. Breakout. See you later. That's how it works on that. So yeah, that's my plan. I think I want to buy the US dollar, but the question is this, especially on a 4 hour, is this a 4 hour corrections not done yet? Are we going to just see this as a 4 hour lower high and then roll lower to the monthly pivot? Keep an eye on that. That could happen, but let's see on indices when it open. But if indices doesn't go higher, then maybe that's it. When then the dollar will ultimately go higher. So there's no better investment apart from US dollar at this minute. So we'll keep my eye on that. So best to sell with is Aussie and Kiwi. Both are on my list and Lucas' list to sell, because we know Aussie is very much correlated to the indices. So this is on my list. Arguable, you could have taken the breakout or retest. Now you'll be in there, but I was waiting for more confirmation. So something around this area, just below this blue box area, 72.30, 20.30 area. Let's see if I can get a rejection. So on that's one option. And another one would be quite similar on Kiwi. Kiwi have again, you really need to drop down to 15-minute to see. Kiwi looks weaker.
Yeah,
looks weaker. So depending what sort of pullback we get, then I might jump in on that. So it could be just a double top around the 65.20 or a bit higher, 65.30. So we'll see what we end up at. And then if not, I've got Hang Seng to sell with. I mean, at the moment the index is inching lower, but I like to see one push higher first when it's open. So that's something that I'm keeping my eyes on that. If I see it open, one bigger one and then turn into a red, maybe would be. So I don't see there is much positive news to change the bearish sentiment on the stock index at the moment. The inflation is still high. Every central bank are talking about to raise interest rate. Pound done it. Obviously US done it. Australia has done it. So that's not, certainly fundamentally is not good. Technically is bearish. So there's no reason for me to buy it at the moment, especially for mid or midterm. So let's see how low. But I was talking and trying to plan where is the next stop on S&P 500 is going to be probably mid 3,000 or even lower. So it brings to a bigger question that we discussed last week when we saw on Friday, right? I think a lot of people, if they invested in 2020, and if they don't have a risk management plan or target management plan in place in the stock market, pretty much all they gain in 2020 will be wiped out, or you're in a loss right now if you did nothing. Isn't it, Luca?
Yeah.
If you look at, apart from certain stock like Apple or Microsoft, they're still doing okay, and Tesla. But
yeah, if it's dropped to 3,000,
if you go up to 3,000, then you are basically you are totally wiped out on that. So I shared a video yesterday on our internal group. I'm doing a little bit more study on this fundamental analysis, and there is a criteria for Warren Buffett when to sell. One of them is exactly what happened in 2021 in a super bullish condition. You should sell some. You should sell some because it was really happy, really, really happy and then comes the problem of the inflation. Realistically, during the pandemic, we had 1 month, 2 months of correction, and then bang, and then the skyrocketed, like what Donald Trump said. And now a lot of the stock, especially technology, smaller cap stock on technology, you'll be at a loss at the moment, guarantee. If you look at Cathie Wood, ARK, it's back at 2020 level now. So all you should gain is it's gone. Don't tell me that's not painful. That is super painful. So, but that's the negative side. But every time when these negative things happen, comes positive, which is we are in a privileged position to look to reinvest in the summertime. So long term, definitely on the S&P is bearish, but we know eventually, especially this, if we look at the daily level, this 4,100 try to break, and then that's 4,000, and we'll see a bounce. But once that's done, then it's we need to have a look. 3.3 maybe, or here 3,000. If it's 3,000, it's just basically pandemic level. So it's everything back. But after a correction, good times should come back. I still believe in that. So let's see when it's open. But if you guys have any question, drop us a question in Discord later. Okay. All good. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.